Yo, what's up, guys? Heroes Only, back with another deck profile video. And last week, I got my first place at local night with this list. So this is the deck profile. I was actually very excited. My record was 3-0 and 1 tie. I tied with a guy that was playing Buster Blader. Yeah, so pretty much I played Buster Blader, 2 Mitsurugi Ryzel, and Malice. And he didn't have Fiendsmith. He was just playing Bestial Malice. That's the one he had. He didn't have the Fiendsmith stuff. So yeah, pretty good. I will put the matchups up there as well. But without further ado, let's jump into the deck profile. Okay, let's talk about the main deck. So we played 2 Stratos, 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Neos, 2 Pharros, 2 Vion, still 1 Increase, 1 Plasma, 3 Mally, and 1 Denier. Then the Evil Hero package that I decided to roll with, 1 Dusty Gold, 1 Dead in Prison, Sinister Necron, Toxic Bubble, and Infernal Rider. And not to have the video run too long, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Toxic Bubble. He's a free special summon, so he can get you a body. And then you think about all the decks in the game. What deck do you know that does not include drawing cards in their deck? Like, I would say it's almost a guarantee that every deck has some type of draw card, even if it's just one. Even if it's just one singular draw. Every deck out there has at least some type of draw mechanic in it. So how come hero players always try to build decks without Liquid Soldier? This card is new, but I notice a lot of hero players don't play Toxic Bubble. And it's just like, how you gonna have a deck with no type of draw engine? Having a draw engine at least gives you a chance to see something. And Toxic Bubble is actually really good. He's really good. I've definitely drawn Fusion Destiny off him several times. It's really good. It helps you to push. So, in my opinion, play Toxic Bubble. He's the draw engine. That'll do it for the main deck monsters. And then we're going to jump into power spells. So I played 2 Evil Assault, 2 Fusion Destiny, and 3 Hero Lives. I decided to go 2 and 2 on these. I was just trying to keep it as close to 40 cards as possible. And it actually wasn't bad at all. It just wasn't bad. Then, like our fusion spells, so 1 Poly, 1 Dark Fusion, 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Super Poly, and 1 Dark Contact. I'm gonna pause here for a second again, sorry. I love Dark Contact. Dark Contact is a beast. Turn 3, if you get to this card turn 3 and you go into another Evil Hero Fusion in a much more simplified game state, you can win games. And I won several games off this card, Dark Contact. It's a beast, and we'll talk more about it later in the video once I get to the extra deck and show you what I'm running. But definitely play Dark Contact. It's really good. Dark Supremacy. And finally, Favorite Contact. and that will do it for all the engine stuff. All right, so let's talk about non-engine. Played 3 Ash, gotta play 3 Ash. 2 Droll. Droll was just coming up big in both of my Mitsurugi Ryzel matches. You hit them with a Droll, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have to pass turn. So I'm main decking 2 Droll in it, and it worked out really good. 1 Nibiru, 2 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Crossout Designators, and 1 Call by the Grave. So a little first turn protection with the 2 crossouts and 1 call by. I normally like to play crossout at 3, but like I said, I'm trying to play it as close to 40 as possible, and this list is actually 46 cards, and it was really fluid. All right, let's go over the extra deck. So I played Shining Neos Wingman, 1 Wake Up, 1 Sunrise, 1 Infernal Rage, and that was all of the Elemental Hero fusions. Then I decided to play 2 DPE. With all the Bestials running around this format, just having that second one is really good. So, and sometimes I was just making DPE with the stuff that I had on field. So maybe if they nib you and you still have Destiny heroes left in the deck, you could just drop the Fusion Destiny on them and make another one. It's something that's really good. So I like 2 DPE. 1 Neos Lord. I did not make this card in the night I went first place. Now I'm recording this on Monday, but the first place happened Tuesday of last week. I just didn't have a chance to upload the video. I just got through a busy weekend of work. So this was 6 days ago, essentially. Yeah, 6 days. But I didn't make Neos Lord that night. I didn't. And I still have it there. It's still good because honestly, I'm drawing into non-engine with my Toxic Bubble play. So I'm like, I might draw a Ash or an Imperm or a Droll, and that just basically puts the icing on the cake. So, and yeah, he didn't really come up. You know, once I hit him with an Ash, plus all the interruption that I do have, yeah, it's really good. I played also Malicious Bane. This is what I'm making 9 times, and I had to think about it after the fact, but off of Dark Contact, you can actually make this turn 3 as well, but I guess it never really crossed my mind because you do have to shuffle back the monster that mentions Neos. So, you know, I guess that's why I never made it. I was always making this, but he can be made off of Dark Contact if you get the right materials on the field, the graveyard, or banish. But I was mostly making Malicious Bane turn 3, and he is a problem for Ryzel because he cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So he just sits there, and I beat both of the Mitsurugi Ryzel players. At least one of those. I 2-0'd the first Mitsurugi Ryzel player, and 2-1 the other one. So this card came up in at least, out of those 5 games versus Mitsurugi Ryzel, this card came up at least 2 or 3 times. So Malicious Bane is really good against him. Sorry, I'm not trying to ramble, but I just want to tell you guys my findings. You know, go to locals, you experiment, and you look for different lines and you check out certain things. Now I'm telling you now, Ryzel has a hard time with this card. It's hard for them to out. Okay, 1 Infernal Wing, Infernal Backlash. She is really important. If I draw Dark Supremacy, I'm gonna activate Evil. If I have Evil Assault and Supremacy, I'm gonna pitch the Supremacy because she can also grab it from the grave as well. And also, if you go full combo and you search Toxic Bubble for when you have her on the field and just special it and draw 2, and then you can use her and Bubble to make Sunrise. It's I don't know. It's very cool, and she's a fire attribute, which I like. And also Darkest Night. Not everybody plays Darkest Night with the new support, but I am a fan of Darkest Night. He can definitely help push for game, and in simple game states, he can certainly be a problem. I think I made him maybe once or twice throughout all my games that night, but he's definitely very, very effective. He's extremely effective. I had one game where I didn't really have much that I could make, and then I made him off a Dark Contact and was able to get an extra body and keep comboing. So he's actually really solid. And then finally, I played 1 Wonder Driver, 1 Infernal Divisor, 2 Cross Crusader, and a little bit of spice. 1 Chaos Angel. Now I was noticing turn 3, you could possibly still have your Sunrise with an unactivated Denier in the graveyard. So you could bring your Denier back, and her and Sunrise can make a Chaos Angel with both effects live. And of course, Chaos Angel has that banish effect on summon. All right, and last but not least, the side deck. So I got the third Droll chilling in the side deck. Like I said, I was putting in the third Droll versus Mitsurugi Raizo, and it pretty much can just stop them. Like, just stop them right away. Artifact Lancia, 3 of, great against Malice. Pretty much, actually, Malicious Bane, now that I'm thinking about it, he helped me push for game in game 3 versus my Bestial Malice matchup. We kind of got to a simplified game state. The first game, I'm skipping games, but the first game, all I had was Vion, and I normal summoned it, and he had interaction, but he wasn't sure of what I had in my hand, but I had nothing but that Vion, and he let it resolve, and I went full combo. And after the game, he asked me, he said, if I would have impermed that Vion, I said, bro, I had nothing. He said, man, I should have impermed. But it be like that sometime. But now, game 2, he wins the dice. He goes first. I can't break his board down. He wins. Then game 3, we got low on time, but I got to a dusted goal. Dark Contact. I made Malicious Bane. I cleared the few monsters that he did had, and swung for game to did damage to swing for game. Sorry. 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. I sided in going second. Is really good. Bookie Eclipse. It's good against Raizo. Did not use it against Raizo last night, but it's good to have. The third Droplet is a board breaker, obviously. So yeah, third Droplet's there. And then 2 Evenly, another board breaker. And then this is where things get a little interesting. So I side a second goal, I side 1 Mass Change, and I side Darklaw. Now here's a little explanation. I don't think we're just slamming down Darklaw anymore. So I got it in the side for matchups that Darklaw can just be impactful against. You know what I'm saying? It's still pretty strong against Mitsurugi Raizo because they can't activate X'd. I think that's the one that's the Raizo monster that pitches from the extra deck to special summon. So they can't pitch it to the graveyard because it specifically says graveyard. So they can't pitch Myriologic Aggregator to negate something. So he's still strong against him. Strong against them, which is Mitsurugi Raizo or just Raizo in general. But I still didn't make him. But in game 3, He won game 2 because he got to go first and he built the board I couldn't beat. In game 3, when I went first again, I drew call by. So I had Plasma and DPE on the field. He did X to pitch the Mirror Logic, and when he activated it, I call by it. So he could not negate my Plasma, and he just couldn't beat Plasma in game 3, so I won. So the call by really clutched up in that situation. Once again, sorry if I rambled a lot, but I just be wanting to offer you explanation and details about, what happened. So coming away from the night, and I'll wrap it up, I'm a huge fan of Dark Contact. That card is really good. I'm a huge fan of Toxic Bubble's effect to just special, and if you have an Evil Hero Fusion, you can draw 2. Really good. What else? Infernal Wing, Infernal Backlash. Really good. You grab your Dark Supremacy. It's a negate. It's really good. I mean, what's to say about that? Oh, yes. One card I want to mention before I let you go. Super Poly. Now, I like having Super Poly in the deck. One thing I did notice though, if you draw it, the Infernal Rider line is dead. Like, if you draw this, that whole line of combo is dead. So I was thinking about cutting this, and in practice against my cousin, I have cut this before and just played it at 45. But even though this deck did well, I'm gonna still make some adjustments. I feel like I can still condense it, but I don't know about Super Poly. Like, it didn't come up in my undefeated night. I mean, I had it set, but they just never got that far to force me to use this card. And sometimes, if you're drawing a lot of non-engine, you have to discard to activate this. So if you got like a Droll or an Ash in your hand, do you really want to discard that for this? I guess it depends on how the interactions happen and you make the decision, but you need cards in your hand to make sure this is good to go. So I don't know. It feels a little clunky sometimes, but anyway, those are my findings. I will leave you with that. Once again, sorry if I rambled, but thank you for watching, and peace.